Welcome to Freedom Law School's Freedom Hour. I'm Peymon Mottahedeh, president of Freedom Law School, your host for this program, and I have the pleasure and honor of having Congressman Stephen Stockman with me, running for Congress again in Texas. Thank you, Congressman Stockman, for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Very nice to be here.
Thank you. Now, you're very famous for being someone who's esteemed and focuses on freedom for American people and the importance of the U.S. Constitution to protect American people's rights. And you have a record of doing that, I understand. So tell our listeners and viewers a little bit more about yourself, please.
Well, I grew up in Michigan, and then I came back down to Texas, where my family's from. And we are here in Texas fighting for freedom. In Texas, as you know, like Ron Paul, many of us in Texas really enjoy our freedom and independence. And that's why I took on preserving and trying to protect our Constitution and also our individual freedoms. In fact, I was one of the designers of the Freedom Caucus, which is many people are familiar with. So we have a long history of supporting freedoms. I teach a lot of students myself, including James O'Keefe and some others people on how to activate. I work for the Leadership Institute, train a lot of young people. So that's why I got interested in what you were doing, because you promote freedom from the IRS and following the Constitution and following the laws. And that's why I become so interested in what you're doing.
Thank you. And I understand that you had your challenges and you try to get the IRS out of American people's lives more than once. Can you tell the audience about that?
Well, my father actually worked for the IRS. He was a programmer. Back then they had what's called Cobalt. People probably don't remember this, but they used to have cards where they key punch cards, and And I was a kid, I accidentally dropped all the cards, so his code that he worked on for days was all wrecked. But my father, learning from working at the IRS, he became dispassionate about, what they were doing. And so he instilled that into us, our 5 siblings, and we all want to see less government, or most of us do, and we want to see more responsibility from government. And he thought, and I also believe, that you're paying too much for government for what you're getting, and it's not efficient. And he thought that we should, do something about the IRS. And so I've always introduced bills that would either eliminate or change the IRS. And I stand by that. In fact, one of the persons I was holding accountable for her abuse of the IRS was Lois Lerner. She went after conservative groups, after liberty-minded people, after Christians, and so forth. And so I on Fox with Megyn Kelly, I called for and introduced a bill to have her arrested for perjury and some other things. Kind of flipping the script, where they're always accusing us, but they're never held accountable for that. And so I've always had strong feelings about that, and I don't think it's a secret that I feel that way.
Very good. Well, at Freedom Law School, we teach Americans that if you follow the law from the government's own official legal websites, laws published by the House of Representatives, U.S. Treasury regulations, and the U.S. Supreme Court, that no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income and payroll taxes with a $50,000 reward if anybody can show us wrong. And that based upon the petitions that we have here, this is all explained in detail with the law quoted, attached, even highlighted. And we had thousands and thousands of people send these petitions, Congressman, to the Congress members. Ask them, look, show us where we're wrong in this, and we'll pay our fair share of taxes humbly. Or, if we're right, and the people of the 50 United States do not have to legally file and pay federal income taxes, confirm that, and start cleaning up the IRS and DOJ and free Americans of this misapplication of the income tax to the people of the 50 states and have it be on people of D.C. where it legally applies. So will you get in there and demand that you get Congressional Research Service assist you to give us clear, straightforward, complete answers about these petitions of Freedom Law School?
I promise you I will submit request to have this investigated and to find out an answer. And I'll get that back to you. And I hope when we do, we can do another show and we can uncover what I got from the Congressional Research Committee. And I appreciate you doing this. And I think it's exposing a lot of things that, frankly, I didn't even know about. So I'm very interested in this, and I'm very interested in the answers that would come back. And we'll do a great job with your funding, and we'll keep to our commitment that I'm making here on television to investigate this and to find out whether or not there is an answer to this and that the government should respond to it.
John Birch Society, has a Freedom Index, and based upon your record in Congress, gave you a very high 97% rating on the Freedom Index. So that is very high. I mean, you're right up there with Congressman Massey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I got elected with Thomas.
Okay.
Back then, Thomas was much younger.
Yes.
So was I.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very high on that. And also with Conservative Union and pro-Second Amendment groups, and I get 100% or they're close to it. Yeah.
Very good.
I'm very happy.
Congressman Stockman, you've been very passionate, as your career in Congress shows, to get rid of the IRS, this income tax slavery, off of American people's back. Tell us how you did that and what made you so passionate about the Constitution and freedom in the first place.
I love my country more than anything, and you'll find out why. I watched my father go to World War II to defend our country and risk his life. And he went into Germany and he was fighting oppression. And through him, I learned to love this country and to defend it. So much so that a lot of times when I wanted to expose government corruption, my colleagues didn't stand with me. I had to fight on my own. In fact, so much so that I became a target of Jack Smith. And I fought the government. You're not going to get in me someone that's going to lay down like a lamb. You're going to get in me, you're going to get a fighter. There's no one that fights better than me. Honestly, there isn't. When I went down there was very few people that even wanted to stand with me on the floor because they were so worried that they were going to get subpoenaed or whatever. I am not afraid. I want to defend this country and defend your freedoms. In fact, as one of the authors of the Freedom Caucus and also the one to try to arrest Lois Lerner for her interference in our lives, I stand strong without being intimidated. So if you want someone that's tough and a fighter, I'm your guy. I will fight for you. I will not wilt with the pressure. I've proven that time and time again. I stood up to evil forces. I'll stand up to them again. And I would really love your support. If you want a fighter, you want someone that's principled and someone that's willing to do anything to keep your freedom, I'm your guy. I have been repeatedly given the highest awards by different foundations at 100% from the Conservative Union to other organizations, 100% pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, pro-First Amendment. And I'll stand for you. All I'm asking you, Trump covered my back, I'll cover your back. I'll be on your side.
So up to $3,500 per person they can give to your campaign, spouse $3,500, and the person themselves. Okay?
Right.
Well, folks, we have a congressman running for office again, and he has a good chance of winning because, after all, he's been a congressman, he's known in the area, and he has a record of being committed to freedom. So if that's something that you value, important to you, you have a rare opportunity to elect people like that in Congressman Stockman.
This is not something you think, well, I can't make a difference. Yes, you can. Make a difference. This is for your future, your family's future, and your children's future. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. I'll be very grateful.
If you want to campaign, boots on the ground also, on your website.
Right, yeah. Come join us. Come see us. We'll meet with you. You don't have, in fact, I don't know if you knew this, but we had, last time we ran a long time ago, a few years ago, we had people from Ireland and also from Norway come help us. So you can come and volunteer. You don't have to be from Texas. You don't really even have to be from the United States. If you want freedom,
Right.
come join us.
Very good.
Go to congressmanstockman.com, and yes, you can help me. It'll make a difference.
So I want to thank you, Congressman Stockman.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Thank you.